But of course, we find Photo, who does not walk away from her scratches. Sometimes she gets a little sassy with them, but hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Monday afternoon, and it is not ridiculously cold today. I think Saturday we had, what was high? I think the high was like -5, and that was just air temperature. I think wind chills were like minus 30 or something. And then Sunday was maybe 0. And that was when we went to bed. I think that was our high for the day. But that also did not include wind chills, which were like minus 20 or something like that. So it was pretty chilly. So I didn't really record anything because we didn't do anything. We did indoor stuff. But we are out. We're gonna feed, check over all these cows. We're gonna bed down the steers. They are in a real need for some bedding. Main cows are good. These calves are still really good for bedding. Everybody made it through the cold over the weekend pretty decently, I believe, at least from what I can tell. But we'll obviously give them a once over, do it every day, and then we'll take a look at that covered mineral feeder that we put out, like a week ago now. So yeah, we'll get an update on that guy. Come on, girls. And with the cold weather, we did not have really any issues with our waterers. Even this guy, we've got this one pretty much figured out. There we go. I would say probably the one downside to the mirror fonts that we have, because they have that open surface, if you get really cold temps and higher winds, sometimes if you don't have enough animals drinking out of it, they'll skim over, but they don't freeze up. Like the valve doesn't freeze up. So you just gotta break that up and get that out of there and you're good to go. That was about the worst thing we had for the weekend as far as waterers go. And we're hoping by like Wednesday, this is all thawed out so that we can get these guys cleaned out. Because even with big snows, by the time you get to them, because I go into work early in the morning, it really doesn't matter what time you get out here. They've already started licking on it, and if it's really cold, it's already started to freeze hard. So that's one downside of having these style feeders in the winter time. But you get days like we're gonna get later in the week. It's going to get into the mid-upper 30s, should thaw out, and hopefully we can clean them out. So one thing we did do today is Dad dropped off that calf that had aborted. We did keep it, we bagged it, and then we also bagged the placenta and dropped that off at our vet today. And she's going to package that up and she's going to send it to, I think she actually sends it to the University of Madison, University of Wisconsin, Madison. And then they're going to slice and dice that guy and test it and all that stuff and see if they can find the reason for her to actually abort. Was it a disease thing? Was there something in feed? But if that gives us any like specific reasons, like maybe there was still a disease that maybe we vaccinate for and maybe we have to change a drug or something like that, or is it just something that, hey, you really can't do anything about it, it's there and it's just gonna happen. So maybe it's one of those deals. We'll find out. That's probably gonna take about a month to get those results. That pen's gonna get pretty empty in a couple of weeks. What is it, like the 7th or something like that? Wednesday. We have 2 steers that go, and then 2 weeks later we have another 2 steers that go. So by the end of January, what's there gonna be? Only 4? No, 3? 3? I think 3. So it's gonna empty out pretty quick, which, I mean, is a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing for our pocket. All right, just a 1 bale night tonight. They still have some left over from last night. All right, so here's our mineral feeder. I would say the only thing I'm not crazy about is that these have, just that this is a little bit high compared to these. These are kind of scalloped out a little bit. So they're, what, an inch lower than up here. So then it kind of sits like that. It'll still keep 95% of the rain out and the snow and all that good stuff. Kind of promote, I mean, one thing, it's good, I would say it's probably good for training cows because it leaves this gap here. But other than that, it's not bad. I hate it less than I thought I would, having it on this big tire, because it does bring it up, especially for the cows. It's definitely not an issue. Is my hook still in? Yeah, I still have my hook in here. That might get replaced with like a double chain or something later on. But yeah, we still got NutriBeef in here, which is this one, and then that one and that one over there. That one over there had a little bit of NutriBeef. This is all the Redmond stuff. So still some mineral in here, and still pretty loose in that. The bag got a little wet, so that's frozen stuff. So that's why that's like that. So don't worry about that. But that stuff got a little moisture on it. And I'm sure too from the licking, obviously licking picks up, there's that moisture there. So, but overall, not disappointed, liking it so far. But of course, we find Photo, who does not walk away from her scratches. Sometimes she gets a little sassy with them, but she does like her scratches. Right, kiddo? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Really like our Cora May. She is definitely bred. Fingers crossed, like I will definitely take a kingpin out of her, but our last shot, a cavil, went into her, and I would really be excited if that was a cavil calf. Just because, honestly, we could use kingpin on her this year. I definitely got more kingpin. I don't have more cavil. Might pick up more cavil. And actually this year, Dad and I were going through just kind of looking at what semen I have left. I really don't need to buy any bulls to put in the tank. Because when we had gotten that True Justice, we got like 20 of them, and I have like 17 or 15 left or something like that. But like Cavanese bulls, I've got 5 Moneymakers, I've got 5 Gibbs Essential, I've got, still have that Gold Strike that I didn't touch, who is probably a Cavanese bull. I'd have to double check. But I might, and I still have a couple mic drops. So I might pick up one bull that maybe would be more cow oriented, but we'll see. All right, Tuesday afternoon, and it is really nice out. So Dad's just gonna fluff up what's here, and we'll give them like one more day with what's left here. So if they don't do anything with what he's fluffing up here today and tomorrow, then we'll just get him a new bale. So not a huge deal. Sometimes it's literally just fluff it up and it's like, oh hey, it's new hay, and they're kind of like, hey, let's check it out, and they just go at it again. So that's why we keep fluffing it up. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up for the day. Everybody's fed, taken care of, everybody's got what they need. Boys are doing all right. Loving the way this Fleck Dominion bull is doing. They're getting a little dirty, but you know, that's, you know, that's just the way it goes. Our bedding would go a little bit further if we had, I don't know, a building. So it's on the wish list. On the wish list. Should buy a lottery ticket. What is it, like 1.25 billion or something? Figured it out at work. It'd be something like only 375 million if you took lump sum after taxes. Only, you know, give or take. I mean, I don't know what I would do with it, but I'm sure I could find a few places for it. Patiently waiting for DNA results to come back on these 4 bulls and then our keeper heifers. So yeah, patiently waiting on those, especially for the 2 flecks, actually all 3 flecks. Biggest things I want to know is Nala, little Deja, is she homopolled? Is she a non-diluter? Mostly these guys, I did the color test, the coat test, so whether or not they're homo black or hetero black. I'd have to double check on the poll gene. I might have done these 3 bulls as far as their poll gene. People want to know that a little bit more with their bull. Can they take their horns off? That kind of thing. So, you know, but that's what I'm waiting for. Be awesome to get it before Christmas. Most likely it's going to be a couple weeks yet, but that doesn't mean I don't check like 3 times a day. So that is what it is. But that's enough for one day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Wednesday afternoon. A little bit earlier because I did take a half a day. Did a little bumming around right after work and ate my lunch. So now we're gonna do a little something. Dad's not feeling the greatest today, so just let him chill out at home. But what we're gonna do right now is, admittedly, we have not gotten our stalk bales yet. So I'm gonna hook up to the bale wagons with the Mahindra and then run down to the pit field and see if I can get them. The hope is that they are not frozen to the ground, and then the other hope is that I can actually get back up that hill and that it's not you know, ice. Potential concern, not an issue. They are not frozen to the ground, so that's a good sign. And what I'm doing, I'm starting on, I don't know if you'd call it, well, I'm starting on the end closest to where we get to, so our road is down here. But the reason I'm doing that is because the local snowmobile trail comes out right over by that chopping box where that yellow sign is, and then goes right across the field, basically right through where the wagon is. It's only a 1 bale night, I believe, for the cows, so I think I'm gonna throw out a stock bale and see what they're like. So I'm gonna bring you guys along for that. See how these things turned out. All right, one small issue. We gotta leave a wagon behind. So I hooked up and tried to go and it just spun. So part of that problem is the ground still kind of froze, obviously, but this tractor isn't exactly super heavy, and that combination probably not the greatest. The other thing too is this has the industrial rear tires. I like the industrial front tires. I'm not crazy about the industrial rears. Regular ag tires probably would have gotten that thing moving, but oh well, we'll just take one back, unhook, we'll come back, we'll get the other one. Not a big deal. Well, let's head back. We'll go grab the other one right away. All right, we got 16 bales back, got both loads. All right, so I'm gonna unload these. Should only take me about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then it'll be feeding time. All right, we got both wagons done. I mean, that didn't take me very long. The one I want to keep, I just set right there. So they still have a little bit of bale left from yesterday, and I honestly cannot remember if yesterday was a 2 bale or a 1 bale. But since they still got hay left, we're just going to give them one good bale. And we'll be right over here. Since we got the spike on, it's hay time. All right, let's take a look at these. It looks like there's a little bit of just that real light surface mold, but it doesn't look bad at all. Hey, mama. Yeah, there's just a little bit of that on there. So I'll spread this out. They're not going to eat a whole lot of it, but it's actually, there's not a lot of that mold on here either. You know, it's just, it's pretty faint, but it is there. I can't even really smell it either. Normally that stuff you can usually smell that when you crack a bale open. When I was at Fleet today after work, I realized we're 2 months from having calves. Legit. And honestly, 6 weeks from Barb. I'm just kind of hitting the majority, saying 2 months. Middle of February, and Barb is due like the first couple days of February, last couple days of January. So I picked up some Selenium 90 loose. And one bag just fit in there. Wanting to give them a little extra selenium supplementation before, you know, with plenty of time before calves start coming, so that can get built up in their system. Because we are selenium deficient, like a lot of areas are. But you want to get that out there early enough so it gets into the system and starts getting into the calf, so helps them be nice, strong, lively when they hit the ground. Hey, how's it going? Happy Friday, and Friday before Christmas, which is insane. To think that it's the Friday before Christmas already. Just, I do not know where the time goes. It's nuts. But it is. It's Friday before Christmas. I did have the day off today, but it was kind of more of a running around kind of thing. Got some stuff done. House stuff. Well, everybody is fed and ready to go. Steer's got their water. Factor's got his stuff, so he's happy. Before I came out, I checked my email and I got my DNA test results back today. Quite a bit of good stuff. An error on my part, so I need to look into that, on how I can correct it. And then only one thing that maybe one test that didn't go favorable, but it's not a huge deal. First, right out of the gate, everybody is sired by who we bred them to, or who we thought they were bred to. So all the bulls, Bold Ruler, True Justice, Mic Drop, Dominion, they are who we thought they were. And then coming down here, 29 is a factor. She is a true justice. She is a factor. She is a factor. She is an eagle, and she is a bull ruler. So that is very good. Back up to the bulls. The one thing that wasn't as favorable is our bull ruler bull, which honestly is not a super big deal. Our bull ruler bull, him right there, he came back hetero black. So his mom is then also hetero black, and then her mom is also hetero black. So it's like 3 generations of hetero black apparently, which kind of sucks, because that's also 3 sires that are all homo black, but the hetero black came through, unfortunately. But not a huge deal. You put him on black cows, you'll get black calves for the most part. Like let's say you put him on black Angus, you're going to get black calves, as long as they're purebred black Angus. If you get a red calf, then you got some red in your cows. If you put him on, let's say you put him on red Angus or Herefords or something like that, you'll get some blacks and you'll get some reds. That's just how the ball rolls. So not really a big deal. You put them on black cows, honestly, even if they're hetero black, you're just sitting there with like a 25% chance of getting a red calf. Again, all of them, I know they're all polled. I didn't get them poll tested. The bulls, maybe I should have got them poll tested, but that was the only knock on the bull group. Oh, my oopsie is in the bull group too. I was going through, and our Fullblood, our Dominion, probably the one that is most important to get a diluter test. Apparently, I did not have that box checked for a diluter test. I'm going to have to find out if they can still do the test with the data they have, or if they need another tissue sample. So, because that one actually is fairly important to me. If I sell that bull, it is kind of a big deal for him to be a non-diluter, especially if you want to put him on black cows to get some awesome baldies. Okay, then moving back on down the line, like I said, everybody is bred to who we thought they were, which honestly to me is the only important thing for our heifers. That's all I really care about. They're black, they're polled. I think a couple of these, the ASA does say that they're homo black, like her. I'll have to double check for some reason if I had them tested as well for color. Yeah, because like Norma Jean here is homo black. Let's see who else is. Obviously, little photo, little Nikon, she is hetero black because she's out of factor. So that makes sense. It does say that our bull ruler heifer right here is homo black. And then I'm very confident that it had said that our little eagle right here is homo black. So I'd have to double check if I check those boxes. Yeah, so I check all those boxes and I forget to check the box for the diluter test on him down there. But the other exciting news that I got is she, Whitey Gergs, little Whitey Gergs, Nora, is a non-diluter. So that's a good sign. Good job, kiddo. Non-diluter. I like her head. I like the way she's put together. And then also little Deja, Nala here. She is also a non-diluter. But even better and most excitingly, she is homo polled. So that was... I remember that she was like the only poll test I did because I wanted to know if she was homo polled. That's a big deal. And it's a big deal because in the Fleck world, obviously, there are a lot of horned cattle and a lot of very, very good horned cattle. So it just really opens up the options of who you breed her to. So maybe not this year. Like as a heifer, the only option that would come to mind to breed her to as a heifer would be Little Creek Express. He would be a great option. But going forward, all I know is I can breed her to whoever I want. polled, homo-polled, hetero-polled, horned. I'm going to pull calf. It doesn't matter. It is Friday. It is the end of the day. End of the video. Hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And of course, if you got any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. Anything about like the testing or anything like that, or just any question at all, or you just want to say hi, please leave them in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, follow along for more, help support our channel. And as always, thanks for coming along.